The WNBA will benefit greatly from this. Allow me to clarify. This week, a little teaser video featuring none other than Caitlin Clark went viral on the internet. In the video, the former Iowa basketball star, who is now a WNBA star, hooks up with Dude Perfect's YouTube legends for an impending trick shot match. This 10-second teaser received millions of views in a matter of hours, igniting a frenzy among Clark's supporters and detractors. The teaser has received over 11 million views as of this writing, which is incredible for a women's basketball collaboration. For comparison, a YouTube short receives twice as many views as the majority of WNBA games on television. It's amazing, the hype is genuine, and the fans are ecstatic. What makes this collaboration so unique? I'll get into the juicy specifics later, but for now, here's what matters most. It will be a major demonstration of the Caitlin Clark effect. In a way, it already is. Really, we shouldn't require any other evidence. Anyone who isn't deliberately ignorant can see all the proof of her dominance. The teams only move their games to NBA venues when Caitlin is in town, as seen by the ratings and attendance. The sponsorships are a magnetic case study. Her actions have a greater impact than those of the entire league put together.
Because Unrivaled, the women's basketball league, the new women's basketball league that we said would be dead on arrival without Caitlin Clark playing in it, was in fact dead on arrival.
Unrivaled has the support, the TV agreement, the marketing, the majority of the league's best players, and its heart in the right place to improve the women's game, increase their compensation, and capitalize on Caitlin Clark's momentum. However, we are all aware that Caitlin Clark would have performed far better. Brianna, Nafisa, and your Siamese cats realized the league would have a difficult time when she declined that $1 million offer. The truth is this: notwithstanding their claims that the league was a success, which it was in certain aspects, compared to Unrivaled, One Dude Perfect's partnership with Caitlin Clark will increase awareness of the WNBA. It will be fantastic for the league in a few days without costing the WNBA or investors a dollar, which, as we all know, will cause extreme jealousy. The hateful complaints and media spin are already audible to me. Based on the recurring themes they have adopted, I don't even need a crystal ball to predict how they will position this. Now, let's get started. But first, if you're eager to watch Caitlin sink long bombs from the nosebleeds while wearing a blindfold, watch this video.
Hey, Lise, what's in the bag? A barbecue bacon QPC from McDonald's.
Oh, you mean the Angel Reese special?
The gentleman at Dude Perfect is responsible for the video that is going viral and receiving millions of views. Collaborations are now commonplace. Athletes like Angel Reese are an example of this on the brand side, although outside of sportswear, athletes' products are frequently unrelated to sports. Consider McDonald's, Reese's Pieces, or State Farm. And their advertisements. We're aware that they are scripted, paid for, and fake. Additionally, ads are brief, no more than 30 seconds. The fact that the athletes get compensated makes it fantastic for them. Excellent for the marketers since they increase sales. But to what extent does it affect the WNBA? The issue with advertisements is that, due to all of the aforementioned factors, they are not very effective in fostering connections or increasing WNBA conversions. After all, how likely is it that someone will start watching the WNBA just because they saw Angel Reese in a McDonald's commercial?
The Hinkle Heave.
The Hinkle Heave. Here we go.
It's not just her. The format is the only issue. It is an advertisement. This collaboration is unique in that regard, which is why it will probably surpass anything produced by Unrivaled. Dude Perfect has a huge platform, to start. For more than 10 years, this quintet has dominated the sports YouTube scene. They have more than 60 million subscribers and more than 18 billion views overall. That surpasses the NBA's own YouTube channel in terms of followers. Their brand is pleasant, family-friendly, and most importantly, hugely popular among young sports fans, who are the target market for the WNBA. Millions of new, largely male, younger viewers who might not otherwise watch women's basketball can be reached through a partnership with Dude Perfect. Above all, it's long-form content. In contrast to a 30-second commercial, viewers have time to learn more about the athletes featured in the videos. Just by being invited, The athletes win the admiration of Dude Perfect's fans, and this respect grows throughout the video as they engage and perform amazing, skill-based trick shots. NBA partnerships on the channel have been incredibly successful in the past. A one-on-one match versus Luka Doncic and a trick shot matchup with Steph Curry each received 15 to 20 million views. It's Caitlyn's turn now. She is the first female basketball player to be the main attraction in a Dude Perfect feature. And that's a statement in and of itself. What does the WNBA stand to gain from this exposure, then? To put it briefly, everything. As a result, a sizable portion of sports fans who may have only known Caitlyn from March Madness highlights will now regard her as an expert, hanging out with their favorite big-name content producers. There's no reason this can't receive 10 to 20 million views given the statistics Steph and Luka produced and the buzz Caitlyn creates. In a matter of days, the teaser had over 11 million views. Imagine Caitlyn receiving 20 million views from young sports fans who will admire and respect her, possibly encouraging them to follow her more. In a word, that is the Caitlyn Clark effect. Because of this, Clark's collaboration with Dude Perfect is more than just a light-hearted side project. It draws attention to a sobering reality. Even the most costly and well-meaning marketing campaigns to promote women's basketball can be overshadowed by a partnership like this.
Right now, this has not been the greatest look in the world for Unrivaled. Gotta be honest.
The freshly established Unrivaled League is one example. Co-founded by WNBA stars, Unrivaled is a 3-on-3 off-season women's basketball league with significant funding. Its entire goal was to promote women's basketball in novel ways, and because it's only its first year, I believe we should give it some leeway. Nevertheless, business is business, and results are results.
Bill Handy said that's just who Jewel Lloyd is. She wants to keep working. How about doing it on the defensive end? Leading to the break. Jackson protects.
It was difficult to draw attention with all that money and effort. The first run of Unrivaled had low TV ratings. A little over 300,000 people watched the opening weekend on average, peaking at about 364,000, while 398,000 watched the championship game. Not bad for a new league, but nothing compared to viral content or popular sports. Compare that to one of Caitlyn's free YouTube videos. Over 3 million individuals have seen the teaser alone overnight, and the number is still rising. Tens of millions of people may watch the entire Dude Perfect episode by the time it premieres. Just Caitlyn Clark chilling out with the Dude Perfect crew sinking trick shots. No fancy arena or expensive TV deal needed. It is the Caitlyn Clark effect's ultimate proof of concept. Fans show up when she's involved. In case you were wondering, the game was played on the road. We now live in a world where the WNBA can compete with the NBA in ratings, which is ridiculous, joked one sports journalist. That statement was made after 2.1 million people watched Clark's first WNBA game on ESPN2. In fact, that week's NBA game average on ESPN was exceeded. She has a pull like that. Is it really a reach to predict that her collaboration with Dude Perfect will create more excitement for women's basketball than a whole WNBA season? Not at all. Here, think about the ROI. According to reports, Unrivaled had to work hard for every 1,000 viewers, even after paying up to $9 million in player compensation to draw in its best players. In the meantime, neither Caitlyn nor the WNBA suffered any consequences from her presence with Dude Perfect. When a 12-year-old shares a video of a WNBA player because she is amazing at trick shots, that is a change in culture. It dispels the myth that mainstream audiences don't find women's basketball to be sufficiently entertaining. Millions of people are going to chuckle along with the Dude Perfect crew as Caitlyn synchronizes absurd shots. They will also catch a glimpse of the biggest star in the women's game. That kind of natural positive publicity cannot be purchased by the WNBA. Not to mention the timing. As the WNBA prepares for a new season, this video is being released. Discuss free marketing. If the league is smart, which is a big if, its social media accounts will undoubtedly promote the partnership and sports media will cover it. All of this leads to more knowledge and enthusiasm for her and, thus, the WNBA. Alright, let's return to Unrivaled. I stated that the WNBA will benefit more from this one video, than from Unrivaled. This is what I mean. 589 million social impressions and 11.9 million viewers were reached during the season, according to Unrivaled's PR staff. While this sounds good, it essentially counts every little bit of interaction. Outside of ardent supporters of women's basketball, Unrivaled didn't become widely known. Although it had its moments, I don't think anyone is saying that it attracted casual fans to stadia. And it wasn't due to a lack of funding. Unrivaled ponied up for talent in terms of money. All players reportedly received six-figure contracts, which are substantially higher than average WNBA wages. For every eyeball gained, there is a significant amount of money spent. According to one estimate, the championship game attracted over 380,000 live TV viewers, which, considering the additional costs, effectively cost many times more to recruit than a WNBA fan. However, in only a few days, one Dude Perfect video, which is free for Caitlin Clark and the WNBA, could likely surpass Unrivaled's season-long viewership. It's practically humorous. We appreciate the effort, but what truly gets us stoked is seeing Caitlin Clark hit outrageous shots and play around with people we already love watching, the sports world seems to be saying. This has nothing to do with Unrivaled. Pun intended. Their idea has potential, but growing a new league is challenging. However, the lesson here is that star power has the ability to move mountains. Unrivaled would always have an uphill battle without Caitlin because, like it or not, her name is the one that makes a difference at the moment.
But to not have the defending champs on TV more, I think it's kind of crazy. I mean, it doesn't have to be where you're taking games away from Indiana, but I think you can raise the level of TV games for the other teams as well.
Take a look at the WNBA's national broadcast schedule, after all. Every network is rooting for Clark. In 2025, 41 of the Indiana Fever's 44 games will be televised nationwide. Prior to Caitlin's arrival, the team was a low-key, unnoticed team. In contrast, the reigning champion New York Liberty, who play in the world's media hub and are laden with well-known celebrities, only received 32 national TV games. Naturally, not everyone in the league was overjoyed by Caitlin's national dominance, but it's obvious that the networks want to feature Caitlin as often as possible. On ESPN's First Take, Minnesota Lynx star Nphisa Collier was questioned regarding the Fever's TV bonanza.
With such star power on those teams, it's really no surprise they're atop the list for the most games available for you to check out on a national scale. The Fever, they lead the league with 41 games here, followed by the Aces 33, the champion Liberty at 32.
The problem is, though, it's not insane. Money and math are involved. The Fever went from being virtually unknown in 2024 to becoming the most viewed team, with 3 times as many people watching their games as other games on average. It's not like Nphisa is unaware of this. There's a reason she offered her $1 million to perform in Unrivaled, after all. People follow Caitlin wherever she goes. What transpires when she ventures outside of basketball may be the best evidence of this. She becomes a crossover star who draws crowds far beyond women's college or professional basketball whenever she participates in significant sporting events and pop cultural situations. Dude Perfect wasn't the beginning of this. That's only the most recent instance.
Let's begin with Caitlin Clark moving the needle like only Caitlin Clark can.
With all the attention they received, you would have thought Tiger Woods was teeing off when she played at the Annika Prom in November of last year. Sales of tickets increased 12-fold, and the organizers praised her involvement for raising awareness of the LPGA. She stole the show when she performed at the John Deere Classic Pro A in 2023. On the course, she was surrounded by crowds that the tournament hadn't seen since Bill Murray's 2015 debut. I mean, she's drawing attention without even trying during her free time. The internet went crazy when she and Taylor Swift watched a Chiefs game. For a week, people could only discuss it. After that, how many Swifties began to follow Caitlin? And let's not even begin. There will be chaos if Taylor and Travis go to a Fever game. These natural public appearances have no monetary value. Speaking of the NFL, Caitlin Clark and Serena Williams were invited to participate in a panel discussion about flag football expansion at an owners' meeting. She was seated with Eli Manning and Serena the GOAT, giving NFL executives advice on how to expand women's flag football. This isn't something the NFL does at random. They see Clark as a symbol whose viewpoint can open up new markets for them. Caitlyn is 23, while Eli and Serena are both over 40. Aside from her talent, this demonstrates Caitlyn's maturity, which has been helpful to her during the ordeal. In a moment, more on it. The WNBA received a complimentary photo opportunity of Serena and Caitlyn together, which was publicity gold. It's practically free even with Caitlyn's $76,000 salary. She needs to be the monthly employee of the month. In any case, it's not a major production that needs funding, advertising, and media attention to stay afloat. In contrast to the WNBA, its players and the media, who I think understand this but clearly don't want to completely embrace it, people want Caitlyn and teams and leagues outside of the WNBA to recognize this, welcome it, and pursue it.
Next on the team, Caitlyn Clark.
The WNBA and Clark are surrounded by a halo effect as a result of all these crossover events. Even if she doesn't watch WNBA games, her half-court shot at a charity event and her jersey exchange with NFL players will make her popular on social media. This keeps her and women's basketball in the larger sports discourse all year round. Interest usually wanes until the following season or March Madness following the WNBA finals. But Clark's constant press coverage kept the fire going, whether it was tearing up the internet with NFL superstars or shattering it on a golf course. The excitement will be unbelievable by the time the 2025 WNBA season begins. And she accomplished it without dribbling a ball or setting foot on a court. And that's what makes the detractors in the WNBA environment so crazy. They give it their all, develop the league a little, and then one player shows up and blows everyone away. They take the initiative and establish a distinct league with major sponsors, a TV contract, and the majority of the league's best players. After that, Caitlyn receives more views after watching a football game. They can't handle it even though they know it's beneficial for the WNBA.
But it is answers like these that show that the WNBA literally lived off charity of the NBA for 25 years. The WNBA is in a position where it's going to grow. And the only reason this league will not grow is because of the players and the old media.
You saw the video of Nafisa bemoaning Caitlyn's national TV exposure in contrast to the Liberty, and now Monica McNutt, an ESPN commentator, is using the same old justification for her popularity.
Three-time NCAA scoring leader and assist leader, a true point guard for the people, three-time All-American, two-time Naismith Player of the Year, two-time AP Player of the Year, all-time leading scorer. She broke the records of Kelsey.
The Guardian story, on the other hand, essentially claims that Middle America is racist for not endorsing Paige Bueckers in the same manner as they do Caitlyn. Now, some of this is just the media trying to get cheap interaction and clicks. I mean, do we really think ESPN didn't think they'd get a ton of backlash when they left Caitlyn out of the top 5 women's college basketball players list of all time? They listed all the awards, after all.
I think it's all about money, marketing, and we cannot deny what Caitlyn Clark has done for the women's game. I'm not going to act like it's something that we don't see. She's had a huge effect called the Caitlyn Clark effect. Yes, have we ever had teams have to get into larger arenas to play against a team? No, we have not. So if we have more eyeballs on the game and Caitlyn Clark brings that, why would we feel some kind of way because she has more television games?
Is she getting hyped? Yes. But she was in the backyard. She was putting in the same time, sometimes maybe more than you were.
Nah, not top 5, they said after that. Thankfully, there are people who are sane. Even while it doesn't receive as much media attention, it demonstrates that some individuals understand what's going on and why it matters to the league. Legends like Cheryl Miller and Lisa Leslie have recently given us 2 doses of common wisdom.
You know, she has changed our game in the best possible way in every way. And so just to be alongside of her and maybe relieve the pressure.
Watch what Caitlyn did for this franchise from afar. Different perspective.
Yeah, no, it was nuts. There's no other way to say it. It was nuts. I think, you're seeing a team that's now affecting the economy in the city. You got people coming from out of town, out of state, out of the country maybe even to see games. And so that's special.
Naturally, all of the WNBA champions and veterans who joined the Fever to play alongside Caitlyn are also included. Caitlin's contributions to the WNBA have been acknowledged by Sydney Colson and Sophie Cunningham in particular.
Wheeler finds Clark from the logo.
These athletes understand. For the league, this is crucial. The WNBA and its players have been anticipating this moment. When the WNBA players renegotiate their collective bargaining agreement, their pay will soar. Why do you think some of this year's draft-eligible NCAA studs are continuing their education? When the salary is higher, they wish to join the league. Additionally, they receive that lovely nil money for an additional year, which is far more than WNBA compensation. Furthermore, I believe that everyone understands how Caitlin Clark's fame is elevating the women's basketball environment as a whole. They are aware that the league as a whole and her teammates gain greatly from her buzz. While Caitlin earns peanuts from her day job, the league profits from her aura. She will win over millions of fans, perform some trick shots, go on Dude Perfect, and bring some of them to the WNBA. Can Unrivaled make that claim? Although the players benefited greatly from their increased compensation, it isn't thought to have had a significant impact on WNBA viewership. Not on evenings when you're having trouble reaching 100,000 viewers. This is what it all comes down to. Caitlin has talent. She is likable. Although she is measured in her media appearances, she is fierce on the court. Above all, she's entertaining to watch. The storm is ideal. If all of this seems a little exaggerated, as if I'm declaring Caitlin Clark to be the WNBA's savior, well, the data speaks for itself. You've already seen the viewership figures from the previous season, so I won't go over them here. Instead, wait for this year's tip-off. To start the season, I wouldn't be shocked to see 3 or 4 million. If you agree with me, please leave a remark. If you think I'm mistaken, please drop an X. Here's the problem, though. It truly feels like this is only the beginning of a long, thrilling adventure, despite everything she has already accomplished. For Caitlin and the WNBA, the Dude Perfect video will be just one of several natural business boosters. As we have all done, it draws in more viewers who will spend more time with Caitlin and the Fever. On X, they will receive updates. On Instagram, follow her. Watch as Caitlin and the Fever go far in the playoffs. Her most recent college game attracted 18.9 million viewers. On average, 1 to 2 million people watched the WNBA Finals this year. Wait till she attracts 10 million viewers if you believe the detractors are already bitter. That's a genuine possibility this season with all the Fever's personnel additions.
Some of this, to me, probably is not fair to her because it was not anything that she said or was truly based on her personality, but she was a white girl from the middle of America.
One of the most anticipated seasons for any player in history will be her sophomore WNBA season in 2025. For every game she plays, tickets are already selling out quickly. To broadcast her games, broadcasters are licking their chops. Everyone will be observing. Is it possible for her to escape a sophomore slump? Can Indiana take advantage of the hype and emerge as a contender? There will only be more pressure. However, Caitlin is the one who has demonstrated that she can perform well under duress. She responded to doubters' concerns about her ability to perform on a larger stage, college rather than professional, by improving both her performance and the game's visibility. Even if they may not openly acknowledge it, the remaining detractors and skeptics will probably watch, if only to see her fail. However, that is still considered interaction. It reminds me a lot of LeBron James's early years. Everyone watched, some supporting him and some opposing him. That's where Clark and I are going. Regardless of whether they usually watch the WNBA, she is becoming a sports figure that people have an opinion about, moving beyond the niche of women's hoops. You'll know you've achieved great success at that point. So, as this Dude Perfect mashup premieres and racks up views, just remember the bigger context we've examined. It's one more data point in a story that's unfolding before our eyes. A tale of a superstar inspiring a league and shattering stereotypes. You can give someone a quick recap the next time they minimize her influence. But for now, let's just enjoy the present. Although a viral collaborative video may not seem like much, it represents the progress that has been made. One exceptional baller from Iowa is largely responsible for the popular perception of women's basketball as hip and entertaining. So grab some popcorn and watch the spectacle. Put a basketball in the comments to say hello if you're still here. I appreciate you watching.